In this session we're going to have a look at how to add your own recipe. So just like in the previous tutorial, to access the recipe section, click on recipes from the top menu or down here on the right. So from the recipes section you'll see there's a recipe navigation. Under here you can click on add new recipe. Once you get to the add new recipe section, you need to search for the ingredients that you'd like to add to your recipe. So I'm going to keep it simple today and just do eggs on toast. So I'm going to search for multigrain toast, and when you hit the ingredient and submit, you'll see that a list of options come up. Now the more specific you are with your ingredient, the less options that you'll get, and it makes it easier to actually plan your meal. So I'm going to choose gluten-free multigrain bread, and once I've clicked add to recipe on the right here, you'll see that it comes up as an ingredient in my recipe. So it automatically has a quantity of 1, so I'm going to update that now, as I want 2 slices in my recipe. So now I'm going to search for eggs, and I want large eggs in my recipe, so again enter what I want and click submit. So there's large eggs right there. On the right, click on the green button that says add to recipe. Again, it gets added to my recipe, and here I can change the quantity and click update. Now on this side you'll see what the units is. So here the bread is slices, and eggs, when it's blank, it just means it's per unit, so per egg in this case, but otherwise other things that come up here are grams or mils and so on. So once you've got your ingredients and you've got the quantities updated, you'll see underneath this is your counter, and this tells you how many calories, protein, carbohydrates, fat and fibre you've actually got planned in this particular recipe. So the next thing you need to do is give your recipe a name. So I'm going to keep it simple and eggs on toast. The next step is to type out your instructions. So again, it's up to you whether you write anything here or not. So I'm just going to write eat and enjoy. Now the serves automatically comes up with 1 when you're making a recipe, so make sure the ingredients that you're planning in your recipe is just for 1 serve. And the reason that it's planned this way is that when you go to your recipe section and you go to print your recipes, it allows you to always multiply out how many people you're cooking for, and that's why all the recipes in this meal planner are based on a serving of 1. So the next thing you need to do is choose how long it's going to take to make, so this recipe won't take longer than 5 minutes. What region you're in, so if it doesn't have a specific region, so if it's not particularly French or Asian, then just the country that you're in, which is Australia. The next thing you need to do is select what meal type it is. So where would you like this particular recipe to show up in your meal planner? So if you're going to have it for breakfast, but maybe sometimes you like to cook eggs on toast for lunch, or maybe even late in the evening, they're the options that you would select, and it means that it would always show up in those particular meals when you're planning your meal planner. Now the meal preference, so it's really dietary preference. You can fill this section out, you don't necessarily have to, but it just lets people know if you, lets yourself know whether or not it meets these dietary requirements. So I've chosen gluten-free bread, so I'm going to tick gluten-free. It is also dairy-free. There's no seafood in this recipe. There's no red meat in the recipe, and it also would be suitable for vegetarians, so I'm going to select all of those. Now if you want to take a photo of your culinary expertise, you certainly can, and you can upload your own photo of your recipe by clicking on choose file. And lastly, you've got an option to add it to your favourite. So by selecting that, it will automatically be updated and added to your favourites. So once you've finished putting your recipe together, simply click on save recipe. And you can see here that automatically it's added to your recipe list, which is my recipe list. And you can access that list anytime by clicking on the right hand menu where it says my recipe list. Now if you want to delete any of your recipes at any time, again you can just click on delete, and it asks you to double check, are you sure you want to delete? Click OK, and your recipe is gone. If you want to view your recipe, click on the green magnifying glass and your recipe will come up. If you'd like to print your recipe, again you just click on print, enter how many people you would like to cook for, and select print. And and again it multiplies the ingredients, as you can see, for 4 people. So if you click on my favourites, you'll see that your eggs on toast has also come up there as well. So that's how easy it is to add your own recipes to your meal planner, and those recipes will automatically appear when you're planning your meals. So enjoy adding meals to your meal planner and enjoy eating them as well. And I'll see you in the next tutorial, which is the last tutorial for this group of training sessions, and that is how to log and track your progress in the Nutrition Complete system.